Help. My ex has moved away without telling me. Is there anything I can do? Hi, I'm Alicia Kinchel, the owner of Kinchel Law, a family law practice based in the Philadelphia area. When someone moves away with a child, it's very important to speak with an attorney right away. So, you've heard me give this advice before that you should always speak with an attorney licensed in your state or where your case is regarding the facts specific to your case. And that is the only advice that I'm giving to you in these videos. The rest of the information that I provide is for legal information only and for tips. Now, in Pennsylvania, most custody orders, and all really, should have a clause in there that gives you information about relocation. And generally, it's a notice that you must provide to the other party following certain guidelines that are laid out in the statute. It tells you what is supposed to go into it, how you're supposed to serve the other person, and that you have to include a document for them to be able to object to it. Now, if you don't follow these procedures, it's possible that you can be found in contempt of court for failing to follow the notice of relocation. And if you do move away and your relocation affects the custody of the other party, you can be held in contempt, and the court can order you to return the child back to the state, whether that is with you or with the other parent. So there could be very large consequences about not following the provisions laid out in the statute about relocation. The issue often becomes, well, what exactly is relocation? Now, because of where Philadelphia lies on a map, you can actually move into a different state and be closer to the other party than you were if you were to move across the city. And so it's a very interesting concept when it comes to relocation. Now, generally, relocation is considered to be moving away in a way that affects the custody rights of the other party. Now, if you two share legal custody, which is the right to make decisions about the child, generally you're supposed to speak about these things. And then when it comes to physical custody, the issue becomes whether or not the change in location affects the other party's right to be able to exercise their custodial time. So if you do move across the state, and let's say that, or across the city, or even across state lines, but you're still relatively close, the issue can become, well, if that parent, for example, has custodial time on a school day, that may affect their ability to get them back and forth to school. So those are some of the things that you need to consider when you're actually looking at whether or not you need to relocate. And I always tell people it's much, much better to err on the side of caution in most cases, but always speak with an attorney if you're going to move away. And again, it doesn't have to be outside of the state. It can really be just moving to a different county in Pennsylvania. So speaking with them, they can give you advice as to whether or not they believe you should prepare a notice to relocate and serve it on the other party, and what should go in there. You should understand that just because you do serve that, you can make it clear that sending a notice to relocate does not say that you're moving away is actually relocation. That can still be for the court to determine. But what you're kind of do is kind of covering yourself a little bit to make sure that you follow the guidelines and you don't lose time. Often relocations, moving away, moving even across the city, is time sensitive. Your lease may be up. You may be splitting with your current partner and need to move away. If you're moving further away, it could be because you got another job and you have a certain amount of time to respond. So it's very important that you bring all this to the attention of your attorney so they can help you craft the best strategy. Now, when you send the notice to relocate, the other party has a certain amount of time to object to that relocation, serve it upon you, and file it with the court. If they fail to do so, they can lose the right to be able to argue that the relocation is an issue in the custody case. And then what just may be up before the court thereafter is going to be whether or not there should be a modification to the custodial rights of either party. So if you guys were sharing physical custody 50-50, one party moved away, they sent the notice of relocation properly, timely, and the other party failed to object timely because they just ignored it or didn't know what to do, they could lose the right to argue that moving away is an issue and may not be in the best interest of their child, and all they're left with is what should a custody modification look like. Now, that does not mean that that other parent automatically gets primary physical custody of the child. It just means now the issue becomes one of determining the appropriate amount of custody, physical custody time that the parents are going to share. All right, I hope that shed a little bit of light on what can happen if you find yourself in a situation where one party has done it, has moved away without filing proper notice. Again, speak to an attorney right away. They may be able to file an emergency petition or a petition for special relief or expedited relief in order to bring the child back. So you again want to speak to an attorney about what your rights are when it comes to that, because you might be able to get some immediate relief if you find out that your spouse or your ex-spouse, excuse me, or your ex-partner has already moved away with the child and you need to get something done right away. If you have questions about relocations, anything I said in this video, or other topics you would like us to cover, as we're doing a full year of custody support and divorce videos, please put them in the comments below. Make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime we drop a brand new video, you get a notification and you don't miss anything. All right, until next time, take care.